Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we interplay here. They've been playing well, really well. Winners of 5 of their last 7, but losers last time out. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good.
No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, it's the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. They've certainly had their struggles against the run at the 30th ranked unit out of 32 teams in the NFL.
The numbers are definitely not in their favor, but every time I click on the film and watch them, I see stretches where they play against the run really well. Their biggest problem? When they give up those explosive runs, those 30, 40, 50-yard runs, that'll really mess up your averages.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll go option on second down, right side. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's third down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On third down, Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On play action, now Rodgers. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Onto the field now come the Bears. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. Let's take a look now at how Green Bay will line up defensively. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now the Packers get set to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-body guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's got the hook up with Conley. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. And again, it's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he gets it down to the 32. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team. Because
now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And now running right through it. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the guns. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Caught here by Conley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively, if they want to insist on going in that direction, Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
319.
On third down, Rodgers finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Spins away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll start by running the option to the right. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing through the contact. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Crosby puts it through, And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And what do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning, but you're not having your best game. It probably affects you even when your team is up.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, he's got something he can fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom line, though. They're winning. So he knows if he plays better, they might be winning by more.
And it's only the second quarter, so he's got some time. Now Trubisky to throw on second. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now it's Trubisky. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves them from a 3 and out. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Hopkins, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Parkey with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
319! 319's on it!
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Looking deep for Adams. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
319!
Now Rodgers on third down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
180!
They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Play action. It's Trubisky. Throw left side, complete to Ross. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Marching back onto the field now, Davante Adams and company getting set to go. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
An update now from Oakland. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
319! 258!
On play action, it's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the second quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. Going deep for Hopkins. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
The Bears on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ross. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Trubisky now, over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Michel. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time, we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, it's Jones. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Rodgers now to throw on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's already approaching 100 yards and has the touchdown. I'm sure on that opposite sideline right now, they're scratching their heads saying, all right, what do we do?
And the hard part is, even if you limit him to a short catch, he has that make-you-miss ability to take it for big yardage and put in the end zone again. So trying to blanket him is very difficult, but ultimately, you've got to find a way to put him on the ground, tackle him, and he doesn't make that easy.
They're struggling with that so far. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action. Trubisky, he's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Play action. Now Trubisky. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
The man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Rodgers now on first down. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
319.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. The 40, the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
We'll see if he can look and do some soul searching now. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's second down. Rodgers to throw on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action.
319, blue 58.
They'll run it now out of the gun, down right around the 25. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play.
Tight right. 319.
To throw is Rodgers. Looking to throw on second down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on third down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Crosby puts it through, and they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. And he's been effective, and they're winning, so it makes it a little easier to put a montage together.
It really does, doesn't it? Because we can see him throwing it really well. But how about everything else that's going on? Protection has been excellent. And, of course, the guys catching the ball have provided some highlight reels themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always just one man. He's been good, but you got the guys catching the ball, too.
Yeah, you name it. It's all coming together for them. What they call that synergy. Everything working together really well. And right now, he's the focal point of it.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a second down. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. Drops it off for Coleman. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Trubisky now to throw on third down. Throw left side complete. It's Ross. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
A give. This is Michel. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. They go play action with Trubisky. That is incomplete. Gronkowski the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So that's going to move them half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer. Trubisky will throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DeAndre Hopkins, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Parkey adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And now running right through it. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
319.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
4 down. 319.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And able to find Graham, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end Graham. Packer first down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
319.
They'll go again to Jones. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
The Packers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
319.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got his target, it's Cobb. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Hey, 4 down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's complete to Graham. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
We got 4. 319.
Now Jones. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
319.
They go option right on 2nd and goal. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Blue 58.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that drive was going pretty darn well. 3 previous times, converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said, enough of that.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Crosby puts it through, and they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s, and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Set up. 180. Hey, boys, we got 4.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Set up. 180.
Play action. It's Trubisky. And he rifles one incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes inside the 30. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Coming left is Michelle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Trubisky now off the bootleg. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. They juked him, and he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Stop! 180! 4 down!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Parkey with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And Tevin Coleman polished it off with a touchdown run. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. A dump underneath to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On the ground, this is Michel, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Double tight. 3 down. Hey.
On third down, Trubisky. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And look there, not a good sight. Gronkowski down. And you just hope it's not that knee again. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down. 180.
They'll run it. This is Michel. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. 180.
Again, it's Michel. And an alley to run. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Tight end right. What's tight? Tight end right. 180.
Play action. Now Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
180.
Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Tight end right.
He'll get it up the middle. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
And, Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? Well, a lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Tight end. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Here's Trubisky, and he'll get that to Michel, complete. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space, down just beyond the 35. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Tight on the left. Move. Stop. 180.
They'll try the option on 3rd down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. It's caught outright by Graham. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Strong left. Strong left. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
319. I got you.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Now it's Rodgers. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
319. 4 down. Check.
Rodgers now on first down. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Rodgers now on first down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they will be at home next week to